We all the way live.
How you doing
We all the way live.
While we're waiting, I'm gonna go ahead and
We
drop
gotta
this.
go ahead and get him backstage.
I'm gonna drop this little. Which ones?
Get you some.
Hi, everybody. I'm Russ Mann from PermaShield. I've been brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast.
Let's brew.
That's what I'm talking about, Russ.
Come on, get you some. Hey, car guys, car gals, welcome. Fred, you ready to brew?
I'm totally ready to brew. Hey, Russ, I just sent you your link. If you're watching this right now, go ahead and look for it. I'm gonna send it to you via text also.
Check it out.
So anyway, we are having a great week, man. We personally are having good weeks at the dealerships. We are having personal good weeks with our families. Lou's son got his first official college football scholarship offer. Are you fucking kidding me?
My baby boy.
Oh my God, I'm so proud of him, man.
Oh my
Gabe
goodness,
has earned every bit of that. And it's just his first one. It's just starting, and it's pretty neat. He's going through the process. How proud can you be right now? I know I am.
Take the whole show for me to dump everything in me about how I feel, but I'm proud of you, son. You're doing incredible things, and it's just getting started. The coach that made the offer today, yesterday,
So proud of him.
was clear about saying that this is one of many. He said, you have many to come, but we're going to go ahead and get it started. And it was an incredible blessing. He was so excited. His boss at work, he got a text message, looked down, and he lit up with joy. And his boss looked at him and said, what? With teenage kids, you never know what they're just jumping off of their phone with this awkwardly surprised face looking at, right? And he just pops up and he's so pumped up and excited and smiling. And he explains to his boss, he said, I just got my first offer. And he's like, okay, you need to go on break and you need to go call
your
some
parents.
people.
Do that.
Go ahead and do that. And that was awesome. Great leadership. Thank you so much. And it was awesome to have him FaceTime me and jump in. And he was so lit up. I mean, he was all right here on the phone and looking right at him and so just so pumped up, and I loved it.
It was a good time, and so this week has been amazing so far, and we've had a really good time. We've had this series that we're coming to. We have one more week left of it, but this is our fourth volume, and we just finished up the third volume last week, and this is ending the fourth volume. But last week we had Russ Mann. And I have Russ Mann. He's in the house right now. I'm about to put him online. And before we get him on here, I want to introduce Russ, man. Russ is a amazing guy. If you guys have been tuning in and watching any of our shows, you know that Russ is somebody that speaks from his heart. I think I think a lot of people listened to his show and also watched it on YouTube. And man, his product is revolutionary. It's the future of making sure that your tire is not flat. So it's everything that everybody needs, from car guys to their clients, to their own vehicles, to their, to every type of business out there that uses tires. So I'm going to put him on here.
Let's do a little something.
Let's do a little what?
We can pull this off.
You want to do that? Okay, let's pull it off.
15 seconds.
Okay.
Of a little Car Guy Coffee jingle time while we prepare the way for Russ Mann. I want to talk about this guy. Let's just go ahead and drop a nice intro while he enters the room. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
Go ahead and bring him in.
What?
5, 4, 3, 2. This guy right here, Russ Mann, is in the building with us from PermaShield, and he is brewing solution like the car guy that he is. being a solution everywhere that he goes. Russ Mann, let's brew.
Let's brew. There
Let's
you go,
brew.
man.
Welcome.
What's up, gentlemen?
Welcome back to the party. Welcome back to the cafe.
Oh yeah, welcome back, man. You know, I know that we had planned last week to do this last Thursday, and we had some scheduling nightmares that had to happen, as you know. and I appreciate you for rescheduling this with us for tonight, because I wanted to have you on here, man, because you're so much fun to talk to. You're somebody that I'm glad I'm getting to know. I'm watching you grow right in front of my eyes, and I'm sure everybody out there really likes you, man. And there's a reason why. It's because it's not just your product, it's you that, you know, so it works so good together. So I'm actually really honored to have you back here tonight, man. And so how you been, man? How's your past week?
Thank you so much for the kind words. Those are heartfelt and meaningful, and I appreciate that very much. The week's been good. We've done some very, very big things that we're going to announce here in the next couple of weeks. So we're definitely excited about that. The PermaShield rocket, it's at the launch pad. It's about ready to go. So
can we get an exclusive?
We're super excited.
I want the exclusive on that, man.
Maybe. That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
I would love to drop that. That would be really cool.
Drop it in there.
We'll do that live too, man. We'll make that set up. Give me like a day or two notice, and I'll get it out there. I'll share it everywhere, and we'll try to make it happen, man.
Wow. Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
Hey, we got a few people in the house. We got Joe Turner. What's up, Big Joe?
Hey.
That's another Car Guy Coffee fan out there. Joseph Bell. You know who that is. That's his brother.
That's my little bro.
And then we got Justin from the Think Ad Group. So happy for your son, Luke.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes,
what's up,
Justin? I'll tell you.
Let's brew.
And I'll tell you how proud we are. Let's brew, brother. So excited, man.
We're going to be making some announcements here soon with about the Think Ad Group, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, absolutely. I'm excited about a lot of stuff. But hey, man, seriously, good to have you on tonight, man.
Hey, I'm so sad that I missed the actual opportunity to have him here earlier this week, getting us going. But now that we have you here with us, I want to make sure that you completely lay out what it is that is the greatness of Russ Mann and PermaShield. So please drop it like it's hot.
Man, PermaShield's been quite a journey for us. You know, I came on board last August, about a year ago this time. Was when I first got introduced to the product, and of course my first reaction was like, "Yeah, you're right. Yeah, seal a tire, right thing. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, okay." And it took him a couple of months. You know, I'm a skeptical car guy, right? It took him a couple of months to really say, "No, Russ, you really need to look at this. You really need to understand how this works." And so I did a deep dive for about a month, 6 weeks or so last summer, and you know, he finally talked me into it, but at that point it was me trying to hold my excitement in, like, okay, yeah, right. I'm your guy. Oh no, I'm cool. Yeah, I got this. So you know how that you get a new job thing goes, and you're like, okay, no, I can't look too eager, right? But I was bursting at the seams, and then over this time frame, we've learned a lot. I mean, this is a product that no one else has seen or used before. Those sealants, right, have been around for a long time, but none of them that are quite like this. And so we had a lot of trial and error. We had a lot of like, oh my gosh, that didn't work. Oh wow, that worked. Oh wait, it didn't. A lot of those things. And like I talked about in the beginning, we were ready to go at NADA. We had the product, the pricing, everything that had to do anything with what we wanted to do in the future. We had ready to go at NADA time back in February. And then I went to Philadelphia and South Jersey at the end of February, and then that was it. I haven't been on a plane since. So we've taken that time, though. We've really taken these last 120 days to really fine tune exactly what it is that's going to happen, how it's going to be launched, how it's going to be put out there in a big way, as opposed to one dealer, two dealer, three dealer, four, right? Yeah. That we've essentially done up to this point. So we're super excited. Everybody knows that in this space, in the PermaShield space, in the tire sealant space, no other product doesn't damage the tire pressure monitor system, and no other product doesn't create a chronic vibration. And those two things, up to a quarter of an inch size hole being sealed, nobody. We're the only one.
It's an unbelievable product. You know, when you first talked to me about it, when I first started seeing you talk about it online, I should say, I guess, you know, amazing. I know it's like almost hard to believe, you know, because you always hear about the other ones. I never wanted to do that. I'd rather just go get a tire, get it over with. You know, I'd rather spend that $200 to $400 for a brand new tire. But instead, you have a product now that does something that it annoyed everyone else about. Like you said, it would get where it made your tire unlevel and you would run, it would just or it would mess up your sensors. You couldn't put air back in the tire because you know, obviously that was sealed out. So now what you guys have, you guys guarantee no flats. To me, that's an amazing product, and it's real. And like you said, it's been tested. You said you've been through trial and error. All great people have failed more than they've ever succeeded. It just takes that one piece of success. Once you find that one time, it's all you need. And look, that's what happened. It came up with the right product through whatever testing they did, and boom, look where you're at. Now you have a product that you can be happy and confident to sell with integrity, you know, and it's actually something that helps people. It's not just a product that you can make money on. It's both sides of the coin. You know, you gain something, but you get something from it. You know, so it's wonderful.
Yep, absolutely. So the dealership side obviously gains because they get a product that creates real value and generates real value to the consumer. And you know, I mean, we talked about that before. You know, not all, especially preloaded products. Preloaded's on an addendum sticker that's done prior to purchase.
Yep.
You know, no one, and realistically, a lot of those items don't have a real value to them, like PermaShield does. Like PermaShield will literally keep you off a busy interstate at rush hour when you get a nail in your tire, and I get the whole argument. Well, what's the difference between this and roadside assistance? It's a huge difference. Huge difference. Because you never have to wait for the wrecker, right? You never have to wait for the tow. You never have to wait for. Now, roadside assistance has its value, right? You get a dead battery, you know, you run out of gas, you know, you have some kind of other, you know, problem that disables you. But the majority, you know, it's essentially a third of all the roadside assistance claims or processes through AAA are from a flat tire. So roadside assistance still has its value, but when it comes to the tire and going flat from a puncture,
right?
You know, we solve that problem now. So plus the dealership gets an opportunity. You know, I mean, front end squeeze on profit is just getting nothing but worse and worse and worse every month. COVID-19 obviously didn't help that either, and I'm glad that everybody's starting to come back out of that.
You know, I can tell you as a finance manager, you know, my back end profit's been a little bit better because that's where you've had to make it up. So it's been really nice. You've been able to produce more there because there's more sense of urgency there. Plus, you know, there, you know, products that if you're selling the right product, such as PermaShield as a back end product, it's a no brainer. I don't see what customer could say no to that unless they're absolutely just, lack of a better word, just ignorant, right? So it's just, I mean, literally, there's no clothes needed. You just explain the product, show a video, even look at here's what the product is, buddy.
Right.
And then look at them when you're done, and you go, man, it's not expensive. You know, you can sell it for a good $1, but you know, you can sell it and make it affordable for them too. So if they really want the product, or if you as a dealer really prefer to make sure your customers have it.
Seems to be the way that it does make its way through, is that many dealers are seeing that this is just a great benefit to know that we give with our cars.
Just throw it all the way on. And that's another way of doing it. You're right. Yeah, absolutely.
You also get this. It's added value.
I love that.
That's actually valuable.
If I was an owner, I would definitely be like, Russ, come on, let's sign up a contract real quick. You know, there's no doubt. Because I mean, it makes sense. My dealership would be top of notch like that, you know. I mean, seriously,
just a better tool. I mean, but I can see where the biggest problem that you really have right now is that
tires for
everybody's
life.
going to want this. They're going to want it. They're going to need it. They're going to want to have it. And it's only going to be a smart thing for them to have it. And very quickly, you guys are going to have to learn how to pour that out all over the nation. And I'm very excited to see your growth. That right now it's only just begun.
It's only just
begun. Again, the biggest problem that you have is being able to pour that much out and facilitate it. Get all the funnels in place for everybody to catch what's going to be needed in the tires of everybody that wants to take their safety seriously.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know,
absolutely. And we
Love
think
it.
that we've taken this last 120 days too to really fine tune that too, the distribution space.
Smart.
We've discovered like, oh wait, this could be an issue. We need to look at this. We need to solve this. And
great
What
problem.
a better time to do it,
Great
right?
problem.
And you know,
Right.
and when you can do that and actually use time when people are either freaking out or they're innovating. And what you did was you're like, all right, let's freak out for a second, but let's innovate at the same time. And when you innovated, it helps you feel like you were doing something, whether it was monetary or not. You knew that whatever work you're doing right now is going to either save you tons of money in the future, which is what it's going to do, I'm sure. And two, it's going to make you tons because now you already have that in place. So it's just going to done.
Yeah,
and that's just one less problem.
It's a problem.
Solutionaries.
That's the thing that most
rise everywhere, man. I'm telling you.
solutionaries actually do. See, some people are actually paid for just providing opinions and thoughts and concerns, but never an actual solution to a problem. You have a legitimate solution here. People get flats. You know what I mean? This is something
No,
that
they
we don't want happening inside of our life, and it's an inconvenience of everything that we want to have going smoothly, especially in a car guy's world. I don't want my car to have a problem. Even if there is a problem, I want my car to be sophisticated enough to get me through that problem. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And your product is fixing a wish that many people had before. And it's fun to talk about it as if we've discovered an entirely new wheel. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's me. I get very, me. I get so so passionate about it, but I'm just excited. And Russ Mann is a great person in general. Just to be here talking with us about it, and it inspires me to have him here.
So how could people get a hold of, like if they didn't listen to our show, shame on you. But if you're watching right now, how could they get a hold of you right now?
Yeah.
So the best way is to direct message me through LinkedIn or Facebook on the PermaShield. Facebook PermaShield Facebook. What is that? On Facebook, PermaShield on Facebook.
PermaShield Facebook page.
That sounds right.
Facebook page. Thank you. Or LinkedIn. They can just direct message me through the LinkedIn. If they dive into my LinkedIn page, you can actually see my phone number and email. So
absolutely. Okay.
That's the easiest way.
Check out Russ
Mann,
two ends.
Find Russ.
Obviously, you guys, let me put that on the screen for him real quick because I know he came in. Let me take this comment off. By the way, hey, Evelyn, what's up, girl?
What up?
I love it. She's awesome. Oh, what am I doing?
Brewing Solutions.
Brewing Solutions.
That's what we're doing.
That's
hey,
what we
so
always
glad
do.
that you got the cup.
Hey, I'm excited. I'm excited for your son too.
Oh man, thank you so much.
That first college call, man, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
Yes,
I feel like
it
it was me that got it, but even better, like so much
better, no doubt.
Whoa, you're flying. This is really happening. It's I'm so inspired. I'm on such a ride right now that's making me not like pinching myself. Like, is this really what's going on? Like today we were sitting there talking with the coaches and doing this virtual walkthrough. And just sitting there with him saying, do you guys understand what we're doing right now? You know what I mean? Tiffany, do you understand what's happening right now? We're really doing this with the last one of our kids, and I'm sitting there talking for the dog, like the dog talking about, I don't like this. I don't want to do this because Gabe's going to be leaving. And I started dog talking for him. Right. I mean, it was a moment for us to be like, yo, we're really making the last shift.
That's a big deal though. I mean, you've worked your whole life essentially as they've been born to today to prepare them for these things. And once they start to get out there, you kind of, you make this motion, like fly away. Right. That's literally what's happening. They're flying away.
You know why they're flying away? Because they practice and they've been taught to do something. First things first, every day, as long as I've started to try to do it. And that is, folks, to remember the 3 S.
What's up?
To forgive, focus, fly. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Forgive, focus, fly. And these kids are flying. And the next generation is in flight. And I'm so excited to be wind in their sail. Awesome. You know what I mean? And to be the wind in their wings.
Yeah. Yeah, you just totally dated yourself with that song reference.
Totally. Totally did. Yeah.
I put on a PowerPoint presentation I did the other day, 27 years in the car business. And I thought, holy crap, 27. That's half my life.
That's impressive,
Now,
friend.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Wait till you guys because my kids
we're
now
getting close.
We're about to make that shift.
Yeah, I'm almost half my life. It's getting close. I'm like 6 more years and I'm half my life. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, once your kids really start to have their own accomplishments, because even under in this space now, you still have some control over them, right? Wait till they get really on their own. They're 24, 25 years old. They're done with school. They've moved on to their life. They've married. They've started to have their own kids. Then the feeling that you have today is 100 times fold because they did it all themselves. It's an even better feeling.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I can't imagine, but can't
coming.
At the same time.
It's so coming. And I mean, Devin is. I mean, my kids get me excited. You're gonna get me all bubbly up. You know what I mean? Devin's a staff sergeant in the Air Force and doing incredible things, but getting ready to try to start figuring out how to coast this next season of his life. He's on the teetering point of reenlistment or re-upping or coming out. Excuse me. So he's kind of back and forth and really just kind of praying into this. So it's an exciting time for us on that level too. Which way does the oldest go? You know, and it's a fun time to be a dad and just be brewing solutions with them because man, they are smart and I pretty much learned. I feel like I learned everything from them.
Yeah, he did.
That's awesome.
It's kind of weird how that works out in a way.
Yeah,
he does. He's been lucky. He has 4 children. He's very blessed with that. I'm one. I'm very blessed to have one. I'm always lucky. I always tell people because there's a lot of people who don't have any ever. And who can't or whatever the situation is. I have one. He's healthy. He's a great child. I'm very fortunate. Super smart. Good looking. Athletic. Everything that I'm. As a son, that's what you would want. I just wish I had 4. I wish I had 4 kids. I'm just not. Maybe one day I'll have grandkids, tons of them. I hope. I think my son, he definitely wants a lot. He always talks about that because he did not like being an only child.
No,
he was like, no.
Well, he wasn't. He had a brother. One. His name is Gabe.
There you go. He has a lot of brothers. He has a lot of great friends. His son is a great friend of my, of my son, but all my son's friends are all just really good young men. So he's blessed to have those. So I feel very fortunate.
Speaking of good young men, we do have a couple of people that we're promoting all throughout this week.
Yeah.
They are brewing solutions from Silicon Valley, all over the industry. I don't know if you were able to see yet, they have created that little juggernaut inside of the way that people have to interact with Carvana, the part where everybody said, man, it's so hard to appraise a trade and get this handled.
Yep.
They created
that. They created that software. Yeah.
A software that fixed that problem with Carvana, right?
It was like 3-4 years ago.
They sold that to Carvana. They worked for them.
Yep.
They were executives there, shifted out, and created a whole other entity or piece and tool for dealerships to help people that are inside of a bad scenario with their loan or just want to start saving money.
And we had exclusives to that too. That's where the first ones to drop that information. So this week that information is new. So it's really unique. They're in phase 1 of it, and the phase 1 is just refinance tool right now. I don't know if anyone's checked it out. It's www.withclutch.com. And this plays a refinance tool, and it's in the beginning stages. So they're going to fix it until it's right. Once they get that right, they're jumping into phase 2. Phase 2 is going to be like basically their own subprime finance company. So that's a big risk, and I think they have a lot of people interested, or they wouldn't be doing that. They left some pretty big jobs to do this, so I'm pretty impressed by them. I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes.
What do you think that kind of a tool would do for dealerships?
I watched the Fresh News today. I got a chance to watch it, and it's a pretty powerful tool. So think about it from the consumer side, right? So consumers from a subprime basis, they get loans that are 10, 15, 20, 25, 30% sometimes.
Yep.
Because of the circumstances that they found themselves in. That got to have a car, This is the only way I'm going to get one, right?
Right.
And they talked about their current circumstance. Like, it's not indicative of a person, right? It's indicative of the situation that the person was in.
Correct.
And so their tool allows that person, as they continue to grow and they continue to get better, and they continue to get a better job, or they continue, whatever their situation might be, as they continue to grow it, it gives them an opportunity to not be penalized for issues in the past. And I think that's the most powerful piece that they've got, is to be able to harness that. Because in the finance side, you know,
You're married to what you signed for in a lot of cases.
right,
I mean,
right.
Yeah, and
But
so
in the big picture of the funding of those things, though, everybody wants to have a specific return, right?
Right.
Every investor wants to have a specific return. That if they're able to pull that piece off, and be able to give that to the dealer, it's an I mean,
it's
I'm speechless.
eye-opening.
I am literally speechless. When I said, oh crap, because there's a couple of lenders out there that do that.
I do
They
know.
do reward them.
Prestige is
Prestige
one of them. As
Financial.
time goes by, it goes in, but it's a small increment. They're planning on some different things, and it's like going to be written in contract. So I'm very interested in this. I think that it's the idea, because obviously with my name, the Subprime Hero, this is right up my alley. This is something that I would do anything to help promote, because I think that it's a great idea, and I would love to reward my customers.
It's been part of the path to purchase.
I don't get me wrong. I've never had problems explaining our interest rate to somebody.
Right.
Everybody knows their situation better than I will know their situation. They know what they came in with. They know what they're bringing to the table. So, but if you can also do that, but also, hey, look, but here's the great news. Not just say, hey, as you do this, next time you buy a car, your interest rate's going to be better. Instead of saying that, you can say, hey, as time goes by and as you make payments, you're going to be rewarded. And you're going to be rewarded by a lower interest rate, which means you could possibly, if you keep the payment the same the whole time, if you can afford this payment, which we all agree you can, and keep the same payment with a lower rate, you could pay this car off like a year early. Can you imagine something like that? That's the kind of thing that you can show people. And to me, it's a no-brainer. I think that if they can come up with the right investors and do all that stuff, which I'm sure they have their own pockets anyway, but I'm sure that they're smart. They're going to have investors, but their ideas to me is great, and I'm excited for them. And and it's exciting to hear about it at an early stage. So I'm looking forward to watching it grow.
Yeah. So the other key component about that too that I saw is what are and maybe not for you and I that have been in the trenches of subprime finance for so many years, but standard F&I managers, what's one of their closers or salespeople? What's their essentially one of their top closes? You can refinance it again in 12 months. Make all your payments on time, and 12 months from now you can refinance it.
Yep.
It never happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because even if the customer makes all their payments on time, right, they haven't done the things that they maybe should have done on other parts of their credit, so they never really gain anything, right? And then of course the value of the vehicle is dropped. There's not sources that are going to finance 200% of book, all LTV world, right? But it eliminates that need for that half. I almost call it a half lie, because yes, you could technically refinance it in 12 months from now, but it just never happens, and there's no sources to do it.
It's very difficult to, because
very
12,
difficult.
Yeah, 12 payments is very, because it's not even 12 months. You got to really do 12 payments minimum, and at that point, you still, with that rate, you're going to be upside down. So that means you're going to need at least a third down, or at least cover your negative equity at time of purchase. Unless you're not trading and you're looking to purchase something else, and that's not a refinance situation anyway. Right?
So think about all those subprime loans that all those salespeople have told all those customers, all those pieces, and now they have a source to maybe have a shot at actually, without a dealer, without paying extra money, without refinancing, paying an extra doc fee, they can go to with Clutch and have a chance at bettering their life from something that they didn't have before.
Exactly.
Look, my goodness, man. The
idea is wonderful,
you guys see that?
Right?
Did you hear him say that? Man, this is a true car guy right here.
Oh,
He
understands
resold me on what's incredibly true about with Clutch. You know what I mean? You got it. Like,
well, he hears it. Well, think about his product that he has. With Permashield, this tire sealant. It's a product that helps. It's a product that really helps people, and it's all about the person that they're giving it to. It's not about the product that they have. Well, the product is important, but the product is made for that person. It's for the people. It's for everyone out there that has a vehicle that has tires that uses air and rubber. So,
right.
So it is, and
it can only benefit,
and
everybody.
It can help somebody who's stuck. You could either be stuck on the side of the road or you can keep riding. Right? You're a pregnant woman in the middle of the summer and you're driving down a highway that's super busy.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
You might have saved a child and a mother, and that's what I'm, there's so many things that's a product to me. That's what he sells. And that's the same thing. What I think these guys, their number one reason, I think you heard it, was they were there at Carvana and they realized that they were missing out on the subprime market. They weren't helping anybody. So they were like, man, there's a problem out there. Right. And they're right. I agree. I'm the subprime hero. I agree. There's a problem with subprime financing. And the subprime financing, it's like, people just don't care enough. There's not enough subprime finance. There's not subprime heroes out there at dealerships. And all the dealerships in the world right now need subprime heroes in all their stores, because they need somebody in there who cares about those people. They need somebody in there to train their people how to care about those people. And so you need to have that, right? And then you got to have the car guy out front in the front part taking care of all those people. Somebody who cares about everyone. I know it sounds cheesy, but at the same time, it's truth, man. It's just there's not enough of that out there. I mean, most dealerships don't have the subprime hero in their store. They don't have that.
But the great thing about go ahead.
I'm sorry, and the mentality of how you and I think, right, and how a traditional finance manager thinks is they're literally black and white, right? We think of a way to figure out that we can help this customer to get into a car, right? A traditional finance manager is always trying to look for a deal killer. Oh, he's got 13 collection accounts. Oh, he's a 680. I can't get him this, or he's a 512. I can't get him this. I can't get him that. Where you and I look at it like, oh, this is a car deal. How can I help this customer get in this car? Yeah. That mentality that you have is very difficult to come by, and very rare.
Every person and honestly, it really boils down to my salespeople. Okay, so let's say that as a manager, my salespeople are working so dang hard on the phones, trying to get this one person to come in the store and look at a vehicle with them and sit down and give them a credit app and actually cooperate and go through the process. Okay, so they've done all this time. My guys are supposed to do $80 a day. That's some work, man. I know it seems like it's not, but if anybody's done $80 in a day or $100 in a day, you just know. We all know what that's about. It's a grind, and you have to constantly just boom. And if you constantly hear no and you don't get an answer, it gets really frustrating, right? And I can feel that because I've done that before. I've made phone calls and I called on dealers and I talked to people, and I never got to the actual guy who could make a decision. And so it's a constant grind, So you got to understand the salespeople to me is where it's about. So when they bring me an app, I need the client is important. Yes, don't get me wrong. I do agree. The client. Something's up with our little system right now, a little mic or something. But
the lines are blowing up.
But like
in.
But they so when my salesperson works so hard to get these people to trust them, and then these people actually trust them to be here and they give them this information, my social security number, here's copies of everything I have, right? And they bring it to me. I'm not going to just dismiss this deal like most finance managers. I'm going to at least give it a chance. I don't ever, and my thing is I tell my salespeople and I'll tell my clients, I'll tell anybody, I don't tell you no. It's the banks that tell you no. I just send your information to the bank and I try to present it in the best way that a bank would say yes to that person, right? And then if they give me some kind of close offer, I make a call and I try to make it a full offer for you. That's it. And that's what a finance manager is supposed to do. But most of them don't even want to do that because, like you said, they can't get this and they can't. Oh man, it's not going to happen. Who cares, man? It's a person that you get to help.
Yeah. Finance managers just click. They have no idea what scenario and what situation in most circumstances that a subprime customer best fits.
Well, I truly believe that that's a posture at heart for the people that are actually there doing their job. You know what I mean? Ultimately, we are there, I believe, and hired to perform a job for the person that's giving us a paycheck. And that job is to facilitate a transaction for the customer that is patroning the establishment. And if your job, and if that's at heart what you're there to do, it's make that customer make their way to the cash register and somehow or another put money in their hand, well, as the finance manager, go get that money for that customer, and it's going to be a little bit of work, but that's why you're paid very well for that work that you do. Go do that for that customer. No different than, you know, the inconvenience of a surgeon having to do a surgery on something that he once said, hey, this was going to go wrong if you did this. You know, if you kept these things going, if you kept these things happening inside of your body, you were eventually going to develop this problem. I told you about this, but now I have to do the surgery, and I'm going to do the surgery the best that anybody can do it. But I told you about this problem, and now you're more problem than you should have been. Can we re-talk about this and go about this the right way from here forward? You know what I mean? And so if that's how a professional likes to communicate with who it is that they're working with, they should make sure that they're upfront right away about, hey, we're here to take care of you. And I'm going to try to take care of you, not find the easy way out.
You know, but like Russ says, though, that's so rare out there now. You know, and
but
that's
I believe
the problem.
that the car business was actually built by people
For
that at heart wanted
that's what it was.
There
Yeah.
just became so many weeds that grew around
Because there's times in the business that it is that simple.
It's
sometimes it's really simple. Everyone just comes on and people are buying cars left and right. But then there's times like the coronavirus. There's times like, 2008. There's times like that when people do shine, and things do change slightly. And then people resort back to stupid ways, and then it kind of gets better again. But I think the problem that's going to happen, and people are going to see more, is because people are getting more informed with it. Even if it's fake news, even if it's bull crap that you see on the internet and media and social media, it's still what people believe. So you got to start being there. You got to start being where people believe things. You know what I mean? If you want to sell stuff, you have to do those things. And people are going to notice that. So the more crap that you put out there, the more crap that they're not going to like. The more you're going to smell like poop.
Yes, the more it might stink, but man, will it be fertilized.
Nah, man.
It's going to grow.
Yes. And speaking of growing, I mean, literally, my field is at that stage right now. The farmer that leases it the weeds have all gone. They're all gone right now, right? So the seeds have been sown, and now it is the responsibility of all the other elements after the process has been put in place. You've killed out all the weeds, and that's what's the weeds are dying off. The things that need to die are dying, and we're getting ready to have I believe, an exponential growth inside of the industry, and some people are going to come to the top, and you're never even going to know that those weeds are there. Yeah. But I'm telling you, if you're not careful, the next season or another whole change up in season, those weeds could reemerge. Absolutely, that have to be treated again. And that's how we have consistent fruitful harvests, is being prepared in these seasons for what happens next. Now it's irrigation time. Pour it out. Dump what it is that
it's funny you said that. I spent a few minutes with my wife going through our little front area and pulling all the weeds out of our little landscaping. So we got rid of all that weeds.
And isn't it like I sit there and think of it? You said you will not return, but if you do return, I'll be right here to pick you out again. You know what I mean? I can't let you outgrow, that I want to grow.
For the person in need, and no flat tires in the meantime. That's right. That's
Robert's got it.
Amen, brother. Got to care.
We talk about that process in subprime too, and the sales staff and making all those phone calls and trying to gain that trust on a quick basis. What we're trying to do in that as a staff member is to get that customer out of their comfort zone, right? They're tight. They know that they've got some credit challenges, right? So they're holding tight, right? And it's that salesperson's job to build that trust so that they start to get out of that comfort zone. They start to open up. They say, okay, I think Fred and I think Lou, I think they can help me, right? Then they start to give that information, because all the other dealerships that they've gone to, yep, give me a credit app, I'll call you back.
Yeah.
Nothing, right?
That's what happens. But even the grand gesture of calling somebody back and at least explaining why it didn't happen is so much better than never doing that. And we train our guys that way. I did that as a salesperson. I believe that, because that makes That makes so much more sense for me. If I was in that situation, I would at least just want to know. If you called me back and you told me what I needed, and when I get what I need, I'm going to go back to you.
Right.
I'm not going to go to the guy who didn't call me. I'm going to go to you, and I'm going to let you find the vehicle for me, or sell me whatever you have on the lot, because that's what you want to do. Because I'm going to trust you at that point, because you told me the truth and you actually did your job.
Yeah. Lou with his finger on the button. Look at that.
And it's weird. This thing, I guess we've had this thing for about 6 months, and just out of nowhere, now tonight, just bloop, bloop, just doing this weird. It keeps doing like a static. I don't know. Can you hear that on your side?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we can hear it.
That means the whole world's hearing it. Sorry, folks.
We apologize for it.
Technical difficulties. Maybe they're trying to stop us from brewing solutions, but they can't stop us now.
They can't.
You see that?
Oh, that's awesome.
But good. Hopefully it's under warranty and I get another one, or just get us that Roadcaster. That's what I've been wanting. I keep wanting to get this Roadcaster. It's got little buttons on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or it's the flat tire fairy that's trying to plague the world with flat tires all throughout the land. And it's Captain Permashield here to save the day, and they're trying to get in the way and nuisance us with those flat tire sounds.
Let's see. My sales manager once shouted across the showroom full of people, "Don't worry about the repo. We'll get you done." And we did. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Yelled it across the freaking showroom, though. Oh well. Hey, man.
Gotcha.
But customers, the funniest part's when you start doing the credit app, and then the customer just, they start vomiting everything. Like, okay, I did this and that, but listen, man, I don't want to hear that. Let's tell me all the good stuff. How many years have you been at your current job? How long have you been at your current residence? Because stability is so key when you're trying to buy a vehicle. Yeah. So give me a story so I can feel good about helping you, and then I can go talk to a bank. I can do this for you. And that's what a lot of finance managers or sales managers don't do, is that they don't go sit down with somebody. They they hear their salesperson come up constantly, but they never go sit down and actually hear, hey, what happened in 2000, what happened in 2017 during the months of this and this, because it seemed like that's when you had most of your issues, and it caused major defaults happening here. So what was it? Man, I lost my job for 3 months, or, I went through a divorce. My wife had the house. I lost everything. You hear those stories and you get it, and then you can say, hey, but since then your credit's been great. Let's talk about that. And then we can get into that. The dude's been on the job for 10 years. And all that kind of stuff. But, so there's always something there. And if there's not, if somebody doesn't have any of the stuff that you need to buy a car, such as stability, ability, and all that, what's the point? What can you really do? They need help themselves. So go coach them at least. All right. But, but the thing is, we're probably gonna have to cut this thing short tonight, Russ. But it hasn't been that short. We've been on for 43 minutes. So, but but the thing is, you always got to give a customer at least a path to purchase one day. At least tell them, hey, this is what you're missing. That you replace these things with stay at your job a little bit longer, come up with more money down, or whatever it is. Stay at the residence a little longer. Whatever the situation is, tell them how to do it. Coach them, because no one's ever told them. Maybe no one knows, and that's the problem. Schools don't teach you how to buy cars. Most people's parents have issues buying cars. So you got to just teach them, educate them, and once you do that, they'll remember you. They'll send people to you, and then they'll come back and buy. And when they do buy, they have what you need, and they're smiling, and they even, hey, look, I got the money down, and I've been at my job now for 7 months. So it's over 6 months, so we're good. Whatever the situation is, they know. And that's the key to being a good subprime hero at any store you're at, or being just a real car guy. You have to be somebody that's real. So that's why you know what, and
I think it even boils down to even a farther piece of that is thinking you have to care about the human, right? Mm. You have to really be honest with them, and to help them, you have to be honest with them. You have to tell them this situation you're in, I can't help you, but here's how I can help you, right? Turn it into a positive. Most salespeople, you talked about the credit app. Oh, yeah, that's bad. Oh, yeah. Then they start spewing out all this bad, right? You have to you got to turn that around, right? Yep. You got to say, okay, well, slow down here. Let's talk about the positive stuff you got, right? And then you're starting to uplift the customer. You're starting to get them to feel like that they have a chance, right? And if you give them that chance and describe what it is that they need to be successful, oftentimes they will do it, and they'll come back to you, and they'll come back to you in spades. One customer turns into 4.
That's
so true.
100%.
So true.
100%. But you treat one customer bad, they tell everybody, and it's like, it's, one, you get 4, you do one bad, you get 10 bad. They're going to tell 10 people, right? So it's such bad work. So always have integrity. Always do it every single day, folks. And I'm telling you, you're going to have massive growth if you just have that mentality every single time. Good credit, bad credit, doesn't matter. Human being, right? Yep. Human being in front of you. Help them as if they're your brother, as if they're your sister. If you do that every single time, you're going to always come out in the good. And then at the end of the year, it's going to be a nice little year to date on your W-9 or whatever it is.
Yeah. So, that's one of the best things for me is I continue to research and figure out about PermaShield is that what it can really dramatically, literally save a person's life. 12% of all pedestrian accidents are roadside assistance related. They turn into deaths. People die, right? So PermaShield, everybody's like, oh, it's a tire seal. Oh, it's a tire seal. No, it could literally make the difference in someone's life. And I think that's a very powerful statement for me. It's part of what drives me. Obviously, from the conversations we've had, my whole thing is to get up every day is to help somebody else be successful, right? So whether it's an individual person or if it's a dealership or whatever that scenario is. So I'm absolutely grateful for the platform that you've provided. And absolutely grateful to now start to call you guys friends because I watch you every day. I watch the brews every day, right? You get inspired by them. You get inspired by them. And I know you guys only been doing it for a short time, but you got to take one step ahead, right? One step in front of the other, right?
Just keep going, believe man. There are 2 types of people, period. And as far as our customers, our job is to literally convert them, right? I believe that there's believers and unbelievers. And I believe that if we put the person is put in front of us, we are there to convert them to believing in our success together with them and that there is a solution and a way to help them and that we have it. We are there to make believers out of them, that there is a solution and we can have it for them if they trust us. They have to be open for that, right?
Right.
We have to help crack that shell without destroying what's inside of it. You know what I mean? And so many times we hack at it and come swinging at it without any sort of finesse or consideration for how delicate what's inside of that shell is. Because ultimately, everybody's literally, I don't know how we got to the eggs, but we're trying to protect that nest egg, right? We're trying to protect that inner piece of life that can produce either a great meal or a great harvest of multiplication, right? So
right.
We need to use our tools in converting people from non-believers to believers in your product, understanding that. And it's so simple. For your product, it is so simple to say, now, do you think that you need this? Yeah, I really should have this. I want to have that. Let's have that. You know what I mean? It's going to rain. Would you like windshield wipers?
Right. Yep. Same concept.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, it's like, I think one day it just needs to be standard, and I think it will be as long as you guys keep believing in the product and keep trying to evolve and always understand that maybe something could always be a little bit better, whatever it is. You know what I mean? I don't know what it could be better than that, but you know what I mean? You always got to be open-minded. You can't believe that it's the best thing and it's over. There's always room for growth, so. That's
right. But somebody found a bean and they crushed that thing up. They ground it. And then they poured some hot water on it and they filtered that into a nice cup of joe and they had coffee in their hand. And I'm so thankful for who got that going. And you guys are pioneering something. It's going to be like coffee. You just got to have it in you. You got to have it there.
You got to have it in your wheels.
Come on.
Oh, great.
Come on.
I'm going to use that. It's like coffee. You got to have it.
You got to have it if you want to stay up, right? Come on. You got to have it if you want to stay up. Oh, somebody else take that? I don't know. They may have.
Yes, but hey, Man, no, honestly, we had a great time, and it was fun doing your episode. It was fun recording the episode twice.
See how fun it is?
It
guys?
was fun. Literally twice we got to do that. So I'm so glad that you did that for us. It means a lot because I know time is very important to everybody. So to have any minute with you, in hours with you now, I do appreciate that. And I'm looking forward to shaking your hand for real one day, Russ. And giving you a hug, brother. Yeah,
I'm hugging you.
I'm saying give you a hug at the same time, man.
I don't know how to social distance.
And when we do this, it's going to be great. We're going to enjoy a nice dinner together or something. We'll figure something out that we're all going to have just a great time. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to like watching your whatever else you put out. Looking forward to seeing what else PermaShield does, what you do. Please make sure you always tag me whenever you can if it's something new. And if you can, give us the whole exclusive on the new stuff, man. We would love to have that opportunity. We'll make it nice. You tell us the time and we'll make time for it. Let's put it that way. If you need to do it in the middle of the day, whatever, we'll try to make time for it. So
all right, fair enough. Sounds good to me.
Man, I'm really excited about it, man. I appreciate you jumping on here. We're getting ready to drop the last part. Is this the last part?
This is
official.
Yes,
okay, so we have our last part for our guys from Silicon Valley, our two guys with the with clutch.com, Chris and Nikki, man. So I appreciate you jumping on there. Check it out. If you wouldn't mind watching that, sharing that whenever you get a chance to. Folks, if you haven't had a chance to watch our show at Russ Mann, you guys need to go back and watch it.
Check it out.
It was a great one. It was tons to listen to. You can hear this man talk about everything from how he came in this business to what PermaShield is all about and how it could benefit everybody out there. Folks, I appreciate you. I appreciate you for tuning in tonight. Russ, I appreciate your time.
Hey,
you know what's up, man.
You guys keep brewing solutions, everybody. We have Russ Mann that has been brewing solutions. So keep growing. Forgive, focus, fly. Let's brew.
Hi, everybody. I'm Russ Mann from PermaShield. I've been brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast.
Let's brew. That's what I'm talking about, Russ.
Come on, get you some.
Yay. All right, Russ. Well, hey, folks, once again, thank you all. Russ, I appreciate you. Y'all take care. Make sure you guys check out this next brew that's dropping here in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Don't forget to watch it.
I can't wait to listen to this one.
You're going to love it.
You're going to love it.
Fun.
Thanks,
It's
Russ.
good stuff, and it's quick, right?